Okay, welcome back to the Tech Connect warehouse. I'm Adam, and here we have a UPS from Xtreme. Xtreme is a vendor that we've been using for a few years now. They're growing fast, and they put a lot of machines out there. They fill a great niche, which is being smaller, budgetary UPSs that are still fairly reliable, that are still going to give you good performance. This is the T90. It's one they've had for a few years, and we wanted to talk to you a little bit about it. This one failed out in the field, and we wanted to show you the insides as well as talk about the strengths and weaknesses of this unit. So this unit is a 10 kVA system. It's fairly robust. As you can see, we have boards that are individualized that we can repair and replace as needed. One of the issues we've had is that, quite frankly, when we go to do repairs or troubleshooting, we run into it and we've gotten told, like, well, this may be the issue, this other thing may be the issue, and if it's this other board that's the issue, you're better off just buying a new machine. A lot of the boards are just mass produced. Sometimes they have them in stock, sometimes they don't carry or support them in budgetary lines. And sometimes it's just not worth it or feasible to repair, as opposed to just replacing the system with something newer and updated. The lifespan on these really should be considered to being about 8 to 10 years. The systems may be supported for 13 to 14 years and before parts are no longer available, or they could be even less than that. The components internally are frankly a little cheaper, but they can still be very reliable. Just to show you, come around this other side here. Up here, along the top of this heatsink, we have these transistors. These are doing a lot of the heavy switching that creates the AC and DC power, as well as goes back and forth to bypass. As you can see, they're all these tiny, small little guys. That may surprise you. This is a bypass transistor for the equivalent size unit done by another competitor. And you can see just by the size, difference in reliability. Like, this, I think, is going to be a lot more robust. It's going to be a lot more less prone to failure and damage than these little guys, which heat up, which pop and explode and shut down the machine in a hurry. We have coils here, capacitors that can fail, and all of this, that board is just going to have to be replaced, which is an expensive repair, and it's going to be more than the machine's really worth. Okay, the batteries on this are all in trays that slide out. We have some brackets that hold them in place. They plug in. Anderson clips in there, but then the modules pull out. As you can see, there's not a lot of airflow in here. The batteries can heat up and they can fail pretty quickly. We've seen a lot of battery failures, even as short as 2-3 years, where we've had to replace them largely because of this issue. On the back side here, we have more coils, we have more boards. These all heat up, and the batteries are right there, and they hit that heat and they heat up, causing them to fail. We can replace these. This had failures on some boards that we took out. Here and here. We have our DC capacitors over here. These are bulged out, that are hard to tell on camera, but if you were to run your finger over them, you'd see them sticking out, almost like a turkey tender. On the back here, we have a maintenance bypass. These have limited use. Even up into large scale UPSs, they incorporate bypasses similar to this, which are little rotary switches inside the unit. The problem is, if we have to replace this unit or we have to repair this unit, I still have to turn this off. This is not good enough for me to be able to service and operate and replace this unit. This is not a maintenance bypass. This is a service bypass, but this is not a maintenance external bypass. We do have options for network cards and communication. The cards on these have been okay. We've had a few that have not even been translated in English. Some that I've had to get lots of factory support to program to be able to work with systems. But once they're working, they've worked okay. In conclusion, these units are a budgetary option. There are a lot of them. They can do pretty well for you. They can also fail for you pretty quickly. This one failed after about 4 years in the field, and honestly, we would have liked to have seen it gone for another 5-6 years more than that. 4 years just is not long enough for it to be in the field with a major failure. They can be okay, but they're not going to be as reliable as another system like a Toshiba. Xtreme has been wonderful to work with. They've supported us nicely. They allow us to get training. They help us out over the phone. They help us with factory support when we need it. They're a wonderful company to work with. I would wholly recommend them as the company, but as this machine in particular, there are other ones I'd recommend before it.